Hello everybody. It has been a long time since I've made a video, so today I decided to do something different. What I will do is to compare the Zini and the Nixing with the playground rendezvous. The reason being is because, as you know from the review of this tea, that this is an aged fermented ripe pu'er tea, gushu pu'er, which was fermented in kombucha made out of black tea. Hence the Nixing, because I use the Nixing drinking pretty much just black tea. And the Zini, well, because this is a pu'er and a ripe pu'er. So I just wanted to say I'm not going to focus on the tea itself as such. What I will focus on, because I already did a review about it, what I will focus on the differences, what I can taste on the tea coming out from the Zini and coming out from the Nixing pot. So it will be a relatively short video. I always say that, but it's never a quick with me, is it? Hey, just a few minutes into the video and I'm already making sex references. Yay! Yay, tell me, get out there, find a woman. Don't worry about tea, just find a woman. But you know, life is a bit expensive now. Going out when a beer is £5, it's quite expensive. Well, of course you can get beer cheaper, but some of it doesn't worth buying. Anyway, let's talk about tea. So I will just break down a couple. Now I will just take a bit off. I will measure it roughly in here, and then I will heat up the pots and the cups, etc., etc. The usual stuff. But I just really wanted to make this comparison because I wanted to see how the Nixing. Right, sorry about that, memory card just got filled up and it takes ages for the phone to connect to that camera. What is it, DHX 100 from Sony? Yeah, it works okay, but it tends to disconnect from the phone every now and then you have to try to connect it. It takes ages. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, so pretty much, brilliant. So pretty much all of these tea making videos, they do take quite a lot of time, especially to start with. You have to bring down everything, you have to warm up everything, you have to make the tea and everything. I mean, I'm doing this for like already 30 minutes and that was just bringing down the stuff, unpacking the stuff, and then now sort out the memory card issue. So yeah, it can be very time consuming, and I don't really tend to edit my videos. All I do is just cut out bits when I just, I don't know, mess up, but pretty much I just put everything together, and yeah, so I don't really do fancy stuff, but it can take quite a few hours just to do that. It's not like making YouTube shorts when you just grab your phone, wave it around and you are done. Yeah, pretty much. So anyway, I have quite a bit of tea here, but it's still not going to be enough, will it be? Because now I have to think about 2 teapots worth of tea, and of course the more tea is the merrier. Well, not really. You need to leave some room in the pot for the water, for the tea, so it can move around a little bit. So it's not just, so all the leaves will get a little bit of water, so they can get their juices extracted. All of their bit can get a little bit of water, so you have to make sure that you have the right amount of tea. Otherwise it will be not enough, it will be too much, but you know how it is. Would that be, no, it's still not enough. Okay, right, so what I will do, I will carry on, collect a bit more, because this is just simply won't cut it for 2 teapots, and I warm up everything and then I will see you back. Right, so I warmed up the pots. Once again, this video is about differences between the 2 pots. So I solely use this Zini for the puer teas and the Nixing for black teas. And let's see what kind of difference does it make. I also warmed up the rest of the stuff. They are just in the kitchen at the moment. This is not an easy task. Decide how much is half when you use 1 teaspoon like this. Ooh, I like the smell that's coming out already of the teapots. So I'm not really sure. They look, oh, okay, brilliant. So they look quite alright. Yeah, roughly the same. Let's pick these. Oh, the smell is just really good. It's really good already. Let's put this there. Ooh. This is really good in keeping the temperature. It's really hot. Okay, have a couple of rogue leaves here. Yeah, okay. Let me bring in the other stuff, and then I will have a smell and all sorts. Yeah, I'll just bring in the other stuff quickly. I designated this bowl as my wastewater bowl. Glass cups, so we can see the color differences. And the dishes. Right, so I am back. Let's put this out of the way. I kept the filter in the water as well. Let's pour this away. There. Put it there. Pour this one away. This is just to keep these things warm. Let's see the differences then, shall we? Right, Nixing versus Zini. Sniffing time. Dry leaves. Right. More of this or dusty furniture notes come through with the Zini. This Nixing is a little bit cleaner in that kind of sense. I mean, the basic notes are the same, but this one feels a little bit more richer. Right, let's do a rinse. I didn't bring in the kettle, did I? Let's do a quick rinse. Hopefully I'm not going to make a mess. Okay. Let's rinse Nixing. Take it off. Oh, no. Rogue leaves. And then the Zini. I mean, this is just the rinse water mixed with just warming up water, and the color is already great. Well, not great, but at least you can see it's good quality tea because it's already giving away some. Okay. Ow. Remind yourself, this is hot. Oh, I love this tea. Right, with the Zini I have once again much more richer note, more of this liquory rummy notes coming through. The Nixing is a little bit more clean in that kind of sense, everything is a little bit dialed down, but not bad. It's still there. Those liquory kombucha notes come through a little bit more prominent in this spot. But in here I have a little bit of extra, something little extra. Depth, that's the word, depth, richness. Oh, this is so hot. I'm not really sure which one I like the most. Yeah, I think because the Zini is a little bit more complex, it gives it a little bit more depth to the tea in notes. As I said, that you know, that all the furniture notes, what comes with the rye pour and whatever, those woodiness, those earthiness, obviously they come through with the Zini, which don't come through as much with the Nixing. With the Nixing you have more of the kombucha notes, those little fizzy, liquory, rummy notes just popping up a little bit better. I mean, even still now I can, yeah, I just shake them about so they just don't, every part of the tea is getting aerated a little bit so I can get the smell. Yeah, the kombucha and liquory notes come through, the herbaceousness come through a little bit better in this, but more prominent because the other notes are a little bit dialed down. Let me just change hands so you can tell I'm right-handed. Yeah, but this one is a little bit more, it has a bit more depth to it, a bit more complex in terms of the smell. Right, let's have a quick brew. 25 seconds or so. Depending on if I can count 25. Ooh. Right, and this is why I have these glass cups, because then we can see the immediate differences between the color of the liquor itself. Because I have these, well, you can call them Gong Dai Bei. This is more like a Gong Dai Bei than this is, but they are not transparent, obviously. so hence the glasses. So you can see a side by side compare, and I will move the pots away. So, or yeah, because the cups then they will have the same background, this green t-shirt background. So the color of the liquor won't be affected by the color of the teapot. Right, I don't know which one which will be, so let's just do this. Let's make this fancy one with the niching, and the other one with the Zini. Right, and then the Zini. Yeah, the Zini holds the heat way much better than the niching, because I could barely touch this Zini, while I can touch easily the niching. But I still wouldn't because it's still hot. Right, anyway, let's take this filter out. Put it right here. Put this there. And then have a smell of the wet leaves. Oh, they are hot. I don't know how some people can manage to hold them for long. Okay. Okay, it's a little bit harder to encapsulate the whole picture with the Zini because of the complexity of what's going on compared to the niching. Niching, easy. The kombucha, the liquory notes. Come on, move a bit. Yeah, that wooden cask note, easily distinguishable. Here you need to dig a little bit deeper to separate those notes, because it just feels a little bit richer. Right, any other differences? No. So the earthy notes pretty much dialed down a little bit in the niching compared to the Zini, in my experience. Let's see liquid. Right, niching liquid, first brew. Zini liquid, first brew. Can I see a difference from this angle? Yes, I can actually. Let's move them out of the way. I can see from this angle that the niching one is a little bit more red, and I'm guessing it's mainly because I use the niching for black tea, while I use the Zini for puer, whether it is ripe puer or raw puer. So there's a little bit of a more reddish color coming out from the niching. But I noticed that with some black teas compared to other pots, that the niching makes it a little bit more red somehow. Okay, let's see if you can see it yourselves. Let's zoom in. And let's see where it's going to zoom in. Takes ages. So it's somewhere here. So you can see the color differences. Somewhere here. And if I move it a little bit forward, then you will be able to see the differences if you pause the video. There. And I can already see that the niching one starts to turn brown. Let's zoom out again. There. So the niching one starts to turn brown already, while the the Zini one starts to turn brown already. The niching liquor stays reddish. Right, okay, let's go down to taste. Okay. Wow, okay, there is a difference, but bear with me because I have to grasp the difference, because there is a definite difference between the two pots, right? It's not like that you guys are going to do any side by side, especially when you are just at home and you just want to have a brew. You don't do side by side, but sometimes it's nice to figure it out if it's actually different, and it is, and especially because the Zini pot is quite rare nowadays. I thought it would be a good idea to make a comparison. Anyway, so the Zini one is already brown. Like what kind of brown? It is pretty much it's brown, light brown, while this one still holds a bit of red hue. Right, this is quite bright, mainly affects the front half of my tongue with buzziness, and maybe, yeah, there's a little bit of strange kind of freshness on the side of my tongue to it. First you might think it's going bitter, but not. It's just a little bit that herbaceous freshness kicks in, while this one, doesn't affect the front half of my tongue that way. It doesn't give that zinginess, but it gives more of that woody notes going backwards on my tongue, a little bit more woodiness. The same herbaceousness, freshness, well, not as fresh as the Nixing is on the side, but it gives a little bit of that woody rum cask notes to the liquor, while the Nixing doesn't. Okay, let's carry on with the first brew. So the Nixing in the Gong Dai Bay, I don't know, because I don't have the same Gong Dai Bays, how will they affect the taste. But this is why I take out the filter, so there is no metal contact with the liquor. But I can see that the Nixing still stays red. Let's see if this one... Okay, while this one is a bit more brown. Could be because of the pot itself that I'm pouring it, but the liquor brewed in the Zini turns into brown, while the Nixing one stays red. Let's zoom in again to see if you can see the difference. I'm trying to keep them in a way that you can see the color difference. There you go. So this one, I think it's a little bit more brown than this one. Well, that's how it looks like as the... let me zoom out again. So that's how it looks like anyway, because the light comes from that way, and as it hits the tea, I'm looking down at them, but I keep them both on the blue part of this tea mat, not on the red one. On the red one, yeah, this one is much more lighter, but you can see why on the blue one, really, because the Zini one is a bit more brown. I think it's it oxidizes quicker, and this is why it turns brown. That's just my guess. But this one stays red from the Nixing. Yeah, bright kombucha notes coming through from the Nixing. Zini. Bit more well balanced, and the woody cask notes coming through with the Zini, which gives a little bit of extra earthy richness. As I said, it's much more complex. Right. What I will do a couple more brews as usual, and I will come back. But at the moment, I think, although the niching is quite good for a wide range of teas, there is a point in having a certain pot for a certain tea type, because there is a difference even between these two, the Nixing and the Zini. There is a definite difference in taste, and I prefer the Zini with the puer tea. Even though the color looks more appealing coming out from the Nixing, but at the end of the day, you're not looking at the color when it's in your mouth. You want to taste it. And yeah, it just, you still have that zinginess at the very tip of your tongue, but you still have that extra woody cask notes to it. So when you, for example, when you drink wine that is not made out of whatever, but it's actually made out of grape, and it's aged in let's say oak cask, you can taste the difference. You can tell the difference there, because you can taste that. You can pick up those notes if you listen to your tongue carefully, so to speak, which is quite interesting actually, that you can taste it. Mind you, yeah, it's not unusual, it's not illogical, it's just nice that you can taste those notes that you can't taste with the Nixing. And funny enough, it's the same tea, same water, coming out from the same kettle, same tap. The only different things are these pots. But hey, yeah, now there is a definite brown color, reddish hue to it. Right, as I said, I will do a couple more brews, maybe 3-4, and then I will come back to you with the final result. Hello! I had 3 brews in total, but that can mean, well, it can be translated to 6, because I have 2 times that, and I can already feel a little bit buzzy, lightheaded, and it's just tingly everywhere. It's a bit weird. Anyway, let's do a 4th one, and close this video down. Right, so what I have noticed, apart from me feeling tingly and a bit weird, that with the Nixing, the tone of the liquor just goes a little bit more blunt. Pretty much you just have a slight little tingly kombucha feeling. With the Zini you have the rummy notes there, which you don't have with the Nixing. So with the Nixing you don't have, even after 3 brews. And mind you can brew this tea 15 times. So after 3 brews you don't have the rummy notes with the Nixing. With the Zini you do. Minerality, I couldn't really feel any difference, to be honest with you. What I can see is still the Zini produces more brown liquor than the Nixing, but because I'm not really sure if it's affected, most probably is affected by these, I have decided for the 4th brew to switch them around. So I use this for the niching. I will put the Zini liquor in, and I haven't counted the seconds on purpose, so it can be overbrewed a little bit, and that will give a little bit better comparison, and I will go extremely lightheaded and tea drunk. Uh, be careful, this is a potent tea, you will feel its effect. So yeah, so I will turn it around to see if it will change the color or if it will stay the same. I assume it will stay the same because these are not really, they are not made out of clay. I don't know what is it made out of or this, but they are not plastic obviously, and they are not metal. So yeah, I just wanted to see if I will feel something different, and I will show you the rinse away water, how it changed over the time. I started this whole recording like an hour ago, but yeah, what was I doing? Yeah, this goes there. Is it? Yeah, okay. I got confused a bit here. Right, and make a mess. So I put the niching there, and yeah, the clay is hot. I can feel it being hot, but it's not too bad. But if I would be any closer to the pot itself, I would probably burn my fingers. Right, take this off, but I can easily hold the lid. You can probably see how shaky my hand is, and that is because of the tea. Now let's go with this, the Zini. The Zini is a little bit different. As I said, it holds the heat better, so I mean I can barely hold my finger on the top of the lid because it's just that hot. It keeps the hotness and it spreads it through well, which means I can't do this. It's too hot. I can't hold it. Right, so let's take the filter out. So this is the niching now. Let's see the color. Okay. Yeah, the color is a little bit affected, but not much. The color became a little bit lighter on the niching, but it's a little bit brighter red instead of being deep. So these affect the color a little bit, which I didn't realize. And this one coming from the Zini is definitely brown with the hues at the edges, a little bit of redness, but that's definitely brown, that's definitely red. Right, let's see the differences. Fourth brew, little bit overbrewed, didn't count the seconds. You can do that. So yeah. It's quite bland, really. It's there's a little bit of zinginess, maybe a bit of slight little notes of herbs, but just little. Zini. Much more warmer, not temperature wise. It's much more warmer. It gives much more earthy aftertaste. You can pick up herbs a little bit better. With the niching it becomes a little bit, oh I can't remember which one was this. Yeah, because I confused myself now. Oh god, what did I do? Yeah, this one was the Zini last time, wasn't it? Well, let's see if I can see the difference. I think I moved them about. That's the niching. By the color. Yeah. Okay, I got it right. Whew. Confusing myself. Yeah, definitely brown, red, brown, red, brown, red. Okay. Great. So fourth brew. Yeah. It's a little bit more uniform and dialed down. So it's, but the earthiness is not there with the niching. Not to my taste. With the niching. Zini? Yeah. There is a massive difference. So pretty much this proves, yeah, and there is a little bit of aftertaste of woodiness as you swallow again. So you swallow the tea and then you swallow again. There is a little bit of woody aftertaste, earthy. Let's give it a go with the niching to see if it's there. This is why it's good to experiment. Mind you, this is the only drug that I experiment with, tea. So the tea is gone. And there is no woody aftertaste. Tea is gone. And here comes a little bit of earthy, woody aftertaste on top of my palate at the very back. That is a major difference between the two teapots. So what I was going to say, there is definitely a difference between teapots, as I might have mentioned in previous videos. So yeah, it was a good experience and a good experiment as well. And because I was thinking, since this raw puer got ripened in kombucha made out of black tea, it would be good with the niching. It is good, but not great. Good, great, and that's where this plays better. So pretty much, I think it doesn't matter. You know, as a conclusion, it doesn't matter what you ripe your tea in a sense that you choose your teapot what the tea is, not what it was ripened in. So if it was ripened in, let's say, something silly, green tea, kombucha, you wouldn't use cream pot, but you would use the teapot that suits the tea itself, because that's how it feels to me. Obviously I don't have any green tea kombucha ripened tea, but that's my theory, is based on this experience. So I would say still, okay, you might don't have Zini pot, fair enough, but still drink this tea in a pot that is dedicated for puer tea, rather than that was dedicated for black tea. Yeah, you will see color differences, as I said, red, brown, but the taste is just very much different. Once again, the last bit of it as the fourth brew, which is technically 8 sessions, 8 brews, 8 goes for me, and highly potent ones because 4 in each pot, and I have pretty much still 11 left, 10ish, because I overbrewed. So let's see. So as you hold it on your tongue, you can, and you exhale, you can pick a little bit of earthiness, but not much. And definitely you aftertaste, it's just nothing. With this, as you exhale while you still keep it in your mouth, you don't have that much woodiness, but as you swallow it, as you taste it, it's in the taste. And it's much more warmer, much more thicker to me than in the Nixing for some reason. Obviously it's the difference in the clay, but anyway, the closing note is the Nixing is better for me in my opinion. And just look at the color of this water. I mean, it looks like I put charcoal in water. That's how much it changed color, and that's just the rinse water. So maybe it's best once you have brewed, don't just leave it in the cup for an hour or two, drink it. But that's what tea is meant to be for anyway, drinking it. But it's just, ooh, they put it all over me. But it's just strange to see that it is pretty much completely black. It's weird. Anyway, this is for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I will come up with 2 other videos hopefully soon in the next couple of weeks, because I have 2 oolong teas to test. One is the Superior Iron Goddess, and the other one is the Ember Kaba from Mayleaf. So I am planning to do 2 more videos in the next couple of weeks or so. Okay, stay tuned. Take care. Bye bye.